Hello karting enthusiasts, welcome to the final of the Inkart 2022 Season 1. What you just saw up there was the practice results. I was feeling really good coming into this. This is the title decider. We're starting from pole. Tom Brown on the left there goes quite early. Normally you're supposed to wait for the pole man to cross the line first, but not to worry. You can see it's just starting to rain as well, and being a heavyweight, Tom's a lightweight, that is potentially going to give us a bit of an advantage actually. So he goes in very defensive into this corner. We're able to carry a little bit more speed through. You can see that really benefits our exit. Again, he goes defensive. We lose a bit of time on the entrance, but we gain it on the exit. We get the power down and we're back up into our rightful position of first. How long we can stay there for is another matter, but yeah, you can see it's a funny old set of circumstances at the moment. It's not quite wet, it's certainly not dry. We're doing at the moment, I think I would have thought about 55 second lap time, so about 6-7 seconds off the pace, and you can see from my driving here a little bit that I'm sort of actively choosing wet lines. That's not a wet line, that's just getting it wrong. You can see there that I almost got punished for that. But it's certainly not soaking wet. It's just very, very slippery with the rain beginning to come down. And so it's one of these horrible situations. You don't quite know how much grip you're going to turn up with. And like I said to you in the last round, the final of the Super Champs, you don't suddenly, or you don't lose grip gradually. You go from having grip to none. And when you come up against corners like this one here, where in the dry it's a 56 mile an hour entry speed, you're braking from 56 miles an hour. If you suddenly find yourself with no grip at all, you're going straight into that barrier, and there's no runoff there. So that's going to be a big hit. I've been in there before, it hurts. Better into turn one this time. Now we're trying to make hay while the sun shines here, because actually that's the wrong thing to say, isn't it? The sun's not shining. We're trying to make hay while it rains, because we've got some very quick lightweight drivers now. They are all battling for position. One thing that I'm going to say about the racing today is that it did get a bit frantic. I think that's probably the best word. That's probably the kindest way to say it. It got a bit frantic with lots of drivers absolutely putting it on the line. So I'm basically at the moment trying my best to stay out of their way. You can see that I'm taking quite a shallow entry into that corner there. I'm basically trying to break offline at the moment, so I'm doing more or less wet lines. There we've got, that's no curving, someone's being naughty. I'm trying to do more or less wet lines, so I'm trying not to brake on the slippery rubber. In the dry conditions, the rubber is nice and grippy, but in wet conditions, there's no grip there at all. So yeah, just got to try and capitalise on this. Now, like I say, it was a funny old day. Now in these sorts of conditions, I was really quick. Had a really good advantage in practice, half a second advantage. At the start of this race as well, I was quite happily pulling away from the field, not by a huge amount, but I was just very, very comfortable where I was, and nicely pulling away. But the conditions are going to change, and they're actually going to get drier, and you can see here that I've made a decision, I've made a switch now. I've decided it's dry enough to go on the rubber, and right here we are now back on fully dry lines, fully dry conditions. So the air temperature today is pretty warm, and I'll talk more about why I think that was important in a few minutes time. But this is totally dry lines now, and that means that the lightweight drivers are going to be coming at me as soon as their tyres warm up. They are going to be coming straight at me. We've just got a water droplet that's joined the camera. Hello, water droplet. Welcome to the show. Still not feeling entirely comfortable to brake on the rubber there. There's such an all or nothing corner, and when you're leading, it's you want to manage the risk a bit, don't you? You don't really want to. We don't really want to be throwing it all away for the sake of maybe gaining a tenth or two in one corner. But yeah, I'm looking at this now, and this looks like dry time, so the times are definitely going to be coming down, and I'm definitely looking over my shoulder. I know, and I can sense and I can feel that there are other drivers behind me, and I think perhaps in the next lap they might start poking their noses around the side of us here. Again, I'm still not, this part of the circuit here, the exit of that corner and just here, I'm still almost doing the wet lines, and I think I'm getting the first nibble in the back there from some of the other drivers. So the first driver I'm going to be in a slight battle with is Philip Abulau. Now Philip is leading the lightweight championship, so he is very quick. We're leading the heavyweight championship, so great to be racing with him. Not really necessary to be racing with him, but certainly a lot of fun, and of course you've paid your money, haven't you? So you do want to be racing with someone. There he is. He has to take quite a narrow line, so we actually get the power down a little bit early, and you can see that there's a couple of water droplets. This is us here. This is where we are. That's Philip. He thinks about going up the inside, and the field's quite spread out there. You can see this is the rest of the field. We've got a few more of the heavyweights down here as well, and then a few more lightweight drivers. So obviously I don't really know what happened. This is it from my point of view. Obviously you can't see Philip there. I am aware of him. It's a bit of a shame I haven't got a longer or wider, I suppose, camera angle. But there he is. We know that he's there now, and we know he's right on us. Now in this section here, this complex, there isn't really that much in the way of heavy braking zones, and I'm pretty good on the brakes actually, so I'm not feeling too worried here. But it's one of those moments, isn't it? Fortune is going to favour the brave a little bit. Do we steam in? We still get the front end bite, perhaps not the best angle to go in at there, and there we are. Just get nudged out to the side a little bit. Philip's now got the grippier inside line, so he's going to win this one, but not fighting too hard really. It's not really our race, and this is where he is going to sort of fly off a little bit. We're better on the brakes, but oh hello, another water droplet. Hello water droplet, getting in the way of Philip there. We can't see him. Down to second place. But that's okay. It's not the end of the world. The racing is about to kick off, not a terribly interesting watch to start with, but it is going to get a little bit more interesting. You can see here this is the difference. See, with regard to the light and the heavyweights. You would expect the heavyweights to have a bit more grip, and you can see I think I have got slightly more grip, although I'm just getting a bit of a hit there again as well. But in today we're being quite warm and wet. This is Matthew Bolden going through here again, lightweight driver. Wet, and we get a hit here. Look at that. Very closely nerfed onto the barrier. So I'm a little bit irritated by that. No one's doing this on purpose, but we're going to have those places back, because I felt that it was a bit of a hit, and which almost ruined my race. There we are, going out to the side, another big hit. There's Tom Brown. He actually does apologise. I don't know if he actually did anything wrong or if someone pushed him into me. It's all kicking off now. It's all beginning to get very silly. These guys are fighting for their championship. So, again, you could say that perhaps I shouldn't be here, but you pay your money, don't you? And you want to, you want to race. That's the point of being here, boys. What is the point? So, it seems to be that the grip levels have dropped again. Philip, after that fighting, he's almost a sort of straight ahead of us now. But we're suddenly finding ourselves with much less grip again. So we might be able to come back at these guys actually. But I said to you earlier that I had a bit of a theory about why the heavyweights weren't particularly as I'm a bit frustrated there, because it's that is the checkered flag, and I didn't really get a chance to fight back. It's just unfortunate, one of those things really. We've got some hand gesturing towards some of the other drivers, so I don't know what went on behind me, but I think it was getting a bit frantic. I think that actually, I'll come back to that point in a minute. We've started first in the last heat. We're going to start last now, and you can see that it's considerably wetter again. So in actual fact, really difficult to get the kart just off the line. But I'm going to pull back here because it's absolutely chaos. And just here, number 44 just comes out and tries to recover as we're going through, and that's actually a massive hit. That was a really big one. Yeah, again, wasn't overly happy. I'm going to gesture to him in a moment. You know, because I did go into that corner really conservatively to try and avoid that, and I felt that he came out there and then turned me around. Like I say, quite a big hit. We've got Justin Hammond just in front of us here on the right hand side, and here's our friend again into the back of Justin. Yeah, lots and lots of very, very low levels of grip, still gesturing to each other, and then into this corner here. So again, it's all pandemonium, as Billy Mitchell does very well to get out the way of us. Yeah, that's quite fortunate. We're getting pushed again now. We're 3 wide. There we are, getting shoved. We've broken free of the shoving. This is what it looks like. You know, so you've got a couple of drivers out the front, but then yeah, you've got one driver going off there again. That's me then hitting the barrier. I felt I was given a hit into that barrier. So hand goes up again, yeah, there we are. You didn't quite see the start of it, but yeah, it's all beginning to settle down a little bit. I'm going to go around the outside here. Sometimes a little bit more grip there. So yeah, around the outside, make it work, and then look at this. Just get push, and there we are. And we're into the barrier. I can't understand how that's happened. I'm obviously pretty irritated by it. But you know, we've been driven well off the track there. That's a long way to be off the track. That's not a small mistake. And then to add insult to injury, they have to rescue him first and me second, which means that we've basically in this 10-minute heat it's over. So I came last in that heat, and there really wasn't anything else to add. So we're going to start. We're starting 7th, which is remarkably high actually, considering we were last in heat 2. We've got Toby Bushnell alongside us just there. He's another heavyweight driver. They're all lightweights ahead of us, and we've got a couple more lightweights behind. But it's all go again. And this is Isaiah up here. Just going to go up the left-hand side of him, get a little bit of purchase on the curb there, so that's quite good. Hands waving in the lightweight battle, lots of people waving their arms up around again. I think that was, I think it was Tom Brown who had his hand up there, so he wasn't happy about something, didn't catch what it was actually. Into turn 3, just trying to keep it, that turn 3 can get really, really tricky actually if you're not careful. Yeah, look at that, just look at the understeer. We're going to go up the inside. I'm not sure if this is George Lawyer or Philip Babulau. They've both got very similar helmets and pretty similar rain gear as well. So yeah, I'm not sure who that is actually, to be honest. We're going to go for a move. Yeah, I think we are going to go for a move actually. We'll have that position as well. So yeah, gone up a couple of positions so far. And again, not really the fight that we need to be having, but you just got to drive at your pace. If you try and drive at someone else's pace, or if you try and drive really slowly, you just find that you're probably more likely to have an accident actually, because it feels very unnatural. Last time out we saw poor old Nick Fallon losing heat in his tyres, and the result of that was that he didn't have the grip he expected around this corner here. As we lose a place again, I think it's George who goes up the inside of us, and there's Asai. He was really, really quick today, and we've got a car off. I think that's Philip who's off, so yeah, really, really difficult. It's almost like driving a hovercraft. As again, we've got another great outboard shot. Aidan Fallon there and Nick Fallon doing the outboards. Thank you very much to them. It's almost like in that sort of situation where you see someone up ahead who's spun. It's almost like, as we go up the inside actually, we're going to go back again up the inside of George, or Lawler, or Lawyer, sorry, I can't remember how you pronounce that. Apologies if I've got it wrong. I get so many names wrong. let's add it to the list. Yeah, this is our condition, our position here. So we're going to go up the inside. You're very sensible of him. He doesn't turn in. He sees us there and gives us a little bit of space. I probably couldn't have stopped there. So actually, by doing that, he saves us both. Very sensible driving, very good driving, and he retains the position as a result of it. I am going to finish this point. Once you see someone, the understeer is so catastrophic when you're on slicks in the wet that if you see someone up ahead who's spun, you're basically going to hit them. It's like driving a hovercraft. You've got to sort of turn about 50 metres before you actually you need the cart to turn, because otherwise it's just it's not going to happen. I was saying to you earlier actually that it's a bit surprising that the heavyweights weren't as quick, and obviously, you know, it sounds a bit like I'm just trying to make excuses, and I am trying to make excuses because obviously I'm a great driver. But no, I'm joking. Normally you would expect the heavyweights to have an advantage in these kind of conditions, and it wasn't just me who wasn't sort of the quickest. It was actually all of the heavyweights. The heavyweights were more towards the end of the field, like they normally are when it's dry and hot. And I suspect, just again, trying to hypothesize a little bit here, I suspect that actually it's the air temperature which might have a bit more of an impact than the levels of grip on the track, because I've raced in very similar conditions to these in terms of the grip levels, and it's been much colder, and it's been easy. We've destroyed the lightweights. If I think back to rounds one, particularly the Super Champs, we put it on pole in actually drier conditions than these, but it was so cold that I think the cold conditions really helped the engine deal with the heavier drivers, and I think that actually might be an even bigger deal than I initially realised. I think it might be cold air which equalises things even more than the wet track. What I found today was, because we had to slow down so much to get the car turned, the revs dropped, and when you drop the revs, you've just got nothing in these karts. I'm sure if I was a better driver, I probably would have found a way to keep the revs really high, go all the way around the outside of the corner, a little bit of rear slip angle, but just I couldn't feel that I could do that. I'm sure that's what you're supposed to do. If you look at some drivers like Nicky Richardson and some of the guys who do Club 100, that's what they're doing. They're getting it turned in really early. They're gunning the throttle. I think that's probably what I should have been doing, but it wasn't. Just getting understeer there. So there's Isaiah. He's passed us. So he's had a very good run there. His pace was excellent. Going to go back past him. Is he going to come back at us on the left? Let's have a look. No, looks like we've got that one covered. And the lightweights ahead. Where are we now? I think we might be fourth on the road. Let's see if we can count them. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I think we're fourth. We might be fifth. No, I think we are fourth actually. They're not totally out of sight, but they are just edging away. They're just a little bit quicker pretty much everywhere. His eyes on our left-hand side again here. And again, sorry if I pronounce your name wrong. That's typical of me. Conditions now becoming very, very tricky, and we lose that place. Good block pass there from him. Certain parts of the track we were pretty slow, other parts slightly quicker. I was trying to get the better exit there. You can see the kart just didn't want to turn though, and I found it again with this kart just a little bit difficult to predict what it was going to do. I think some of the karts I drove, particularly at the start of the season, was so beautiful because you could predict exactly what they were going to do and when they were going to do it, and I really felt I was able to exploit the maximum out of them. Here I just felt there was a little bit left on the table that I wasn't extracting because I just wasn't entirely sure what the car was going to do, and that's some part down to the conditions. Tom Brown there has gone around. I think, I'm not sure, but he might have been helped into it, and in actual fact he guns it And very sadly, I believe he's gesturing to the marshals there, so I think he's obviously not happy with what's happened. But very unfortunately, for all involved, he pulled out in front of Isaiah, and I believe that caused Isaiah to spin. Tom ends up picking up a penalty for pulling back out in front of traffic. So yeah, one of those difficult ones, really. Particularly in these kind of conditions, we were too far back to see what happened, unfortunately. But you never know what's going to happen. But it was an important move we made into turn 6, because if we had stayed behind in that corner, then it would have been us that would have been sort of in the wall and in the barrier. So we've still got yellow flags here. I guess that is they are fishing Isaiah out of the barrier. Well, I don't think he's. So it would have been about here where that incident happened. So I think it's all right now. But again, you can see, can't you, that we're going to try going around the outside. It's just not pulling away. So there's a penalty for ABC. ABC stands for advantage by contact. I think that was kart 120. Not sure who that was, but we had to hang around for ages at the end because there were loads of penalties in this race. And obviously, as the championship decider, particularly in the lightweight class where it's really, really tight on points, I think the penalties might have had an impact overall. That is Matthew Bolton. So I wonder if he was ahead of us. So I wonder if we're just going to let him through. Here we are. So yeah, there he is. He's waving to us. We wave back. I'm not sure why he's not going to be able to see us there. But I wonder if that was him who got the penalty, because I thought he was ahead of us. So maybe he came in, served his penalty, and then came back out behind us. So yeah, like I say, in these sorts of conditions, I'm just going to follow him around. But the lightweights are coming off the corners better than we are today. And I think I just need, what's this penalty here? I think this might be the Tom Brown. Yeah, pulling into traffic. So I think that was a Tom Brown penalty. Who's now 2 ahead of us. So it was quite a difficult race to officiate. I think in race control they were probably trying to keep up with who had done what wrong all race long, not easy. I don't think, like I said, time and time again, this series and this championship has been very, very kind of respectful. Again, as we've got a lovely outboard shot. This is an interesting one, actually. Tom and Matt come together on the straight. I guess Tom just didn't know he was there. That's us in the black suit. This is what it looks like from our angle. So if you look at Matt in the white helmet, he goes to the right, and I just guess Tom doesn't realise he's about half alongside. Difficult to tell really from this angle. Tom probably wonders what's going on, and Matt probably feels that he's owed a little bit of space. Trying to stay relatively neutral here because I'm not quick enough to be close enough to these guys to work out exactly what went wrong. Matt looks up the inside of Tom, thinks better of it. We almost get into Matt. See, these kind of conditions, you miss your braking point by 1 metre and you're sailing about 4 or 5 metres on further than you meant to, and we almost got. And there's someone else into the barrier, so that's going to be quite an important one. I'm not sure who that was, but I think it was one of the front runners, as Matt gets it wrong, and then we follow him with an absolute carbon copy. It might have been a back marker actually, but yeah, someone into the barrier there. It's so easy, so treacherous, and I'm actually relatively relaxed at this rate, apart from being annoyed about how E2 went. I'm actually relatively relaxed because I'm just trying to enjoy the race as much as possible, because in terms of the championship, I know that my rivals are behind me at this stage. So they've been, some of my rivals have done a really, really great job, both last season and this season. I particularly mentioned Justin Hammond, who's recorded some excellent results and just got faster and faster and faster. So well done to him and everything, and hopefully be seeing those guys again next season. I think Toby, I was talking to him afterwards. He's picked up some silverware this year as well, so he's been very good to see him up there on the podium as well. I'm not sure if he's coming back actually, which is a bit of a shame. But I wanted to mention you guys in terms of what I'm doing next as well, considering a bit of Club 100 actually. Looking to dovetail that in with the not the Super Champs, the Inkart. So I'll probably do the Inkart, and then I'll do a few Club 100 rounds. I'll be really interested to do some Club 100 rounds. I've never done it I haven't done it so far for a couple of reasons. First of all, I really like the idea of travelling all over the country to race. It gives it that sense of being part of a sort of national circus, a little bit like the F1 circus moves around the world. Club 100 circus moves around. I'm interested in that, but I'm also it's a bit of a problem as well, isn't it? Because you don't know how long you're going to be, and some of the tracks are a long way away. But I have discovered that you can do most of the championship and stay in the southeast of England. So I'm going to give that a go, and see if I can continue to do a little bit of racing down here as well. The reason Club 100s, they're sort of halfway through the championship now, so pressure will be off there. Not that I was ever going to win it, but it's an opportunity to learn some of the tracks. The other reason that I haven't done it thus far is that some of the guys who are competing right at the sharp end have been competing in this championship, the Club 100 championship, for years, and as a result of that, they know the circuit so well, and it's going to be so difficult to get near them. As we've got the last lap board up here, we've got a back marker, Mark, who's just waved us through, so thank you very much to him. So that's kind of what put me off a little bit. But now I've won the Super Champs, and we get a good result here, so we wrap up the Inkart Championship as well. Now I'm sort of interested and happy to go and be a midfield runner, or hopefully not a back marker, but maybe a midfield runner in Club 100, having won a championship for the first time in my life. So that's the plans, and hopefully I'll continue to see some of the regulars down here at Sandown Park, and like I say, I will be trying to defend my Inkart title. So hopefully you guys will be around again to race with you. And now just here, the final corner, there's some more contact. Tom Brown stands up in his car. It's so angry, I think, that whatever happened there. I don't know what happened again. I'm too slow, too far behind. There's Matt Bolton. I think it was him. So, or him who was racing with Tom. So there's the championship. Well done to Alex Tucker and Justin Hammond. There we are. We take home the win in class, and also this beautiful championship trophy as well. It's the red one. So congratulations to everyone, and thanks very much. See you soon.